Hey there, just watching Roberson hit a couple threes. Welcome back to the chase down in the first scrimmage that the Thunder had here in the Orlando bubble was against the Celtics. Thunder had a pretty good first quarter, and the Celtics kind of got a little bit more aggressive on defense and had a little bit more rough second quarter, but ended the half pretty well. So the starters got out kind of slow. Gallo missed his first couple shots and got going a little bit. And then the second half, Billy just kind of let the young guys play and then let Shea run the offense. No Nerlens Noel in this game. He sat out with a injury. So having no Nerlens in a regular game could really hurt the Thunder. This game was only just 10-minute quarters. Just depending on the matchup, not having Nerlens out there and having to run Muscala at the 5 hurts the Thunder a little bit, especially against guys like Canner who can get a lot of offensive rebounds and put the shot back up. Yeah, and Muscala did have a couple of good defensive plays, but he also had a couple bad ones. And then on offense, he was just Muscala spacing out the floor, did some threes here and there. Adams was pretty awesome in this first game. He had 17 points and 7 rebounds in 15 minutes in that first half. He crashed the offensive glass a little bit more than he has been this season. He seemed a little quicker, grabbing the ball, had some post moves, a couple spin moves in there, just being light on his feet, and then had a little bit softer touch on a shot hitting the backboard. Shea didn't make any threes, but it didn't really seem to faze him. He had 17 points, 2 assists and 3 rebounds, 6 for 11, and 5 for 7 from 3. So not making any threes. Didn't really seem to faze him. He just attacked the basket, used his length to score like he usually does. Darius Bazley had 9 points and 7 rebounds. Would have liked to see him get going a little bit earlier. He put a little bit in that first half, and kind of seemed like he was hesitant to shoot. And then in that second half, he kind of got going. Just handled the ball a little bit. Had some good moves, hit a little spin and step back jumper. He just needs to make a little bit better faster decisions with the ball. He had a couple times he could have went to the lane real fast, but he waited too long. Had a couple times he could have passed to an open guy, but waited just a little bit longer. So if he can get a little bit faster with his decision making, he can be an awesome ball handler on the offensive end. Lou Dort had a pretty good game. 9 points, 3 assists and 4 rebounds. Hit a 3-pointer there in that first half. Played solid D. Attacked the basket. Just got finished a little better. Played the point a little. Billy just out there trying to run some lineups without Schroeder at the point for when he has to leave. Hamidou Diallo, he played 15 minutes. He was solid on defense. Knocked down a mid-range shot. If he can knock that down, I think he can be a pretty key part of this team in the playoffs. If he can knock down a mid-range shot, then he doesn't have to force trying to get to the basket like he usually does, trying to use his athleticism and just to mix it up a little from what we saw earlier in the season. And then Roberson finally got to play. Over 900 days since we've seen Roberson step on the court. Man, was that awesome. Most Thunder fans love Dre. Glad to see him out there. So many setbacks he's had. And, he was playing awesome right before he left. I said that a million times. He was playing awesome right before he got hurt. Finally clicking on the offensive end. And just a beast, a monster on the defense. Dre kind of did it all. Played good defense. He got a layup after a loose ball recovered, and then hit a corner 3, and then he got a steal, and then he had an awesome chase down block, and he seemed to shoot a little bit faster, maybe a quicker trigger on a shot. Form didn't change too much, kind of just the base of his form, not really his shooting mechanics, just a little bit quicker trigger. And then like I said earlier, Billy had a pretty good game. Just kind of seemed like he was testing different lineups with Schroeder on and off the floor. Gonna be interesting to see what he throws out there when Schroeder finally has to leave the bubble for when he has his baby. And then the team also played a little bit of zone defense there in that first quarter until Boston kind of adjusted, and then Billy adjusted back. That's kind of why they caught up there right before the half, and then Thunder ended the half pretty well. So we could see Devin Hall maybe get some PT when Schroeder's out. Be out there to run the point. If Billy doesn't want to stagger that starting lineup too much, having Shea or Dort or run that point with the bench, and then you could possibly have Baisley out there being a main ball handler, or even Gallo. Just guys like that, just to see who can get in there. So Thunder won that first scrimmage against the Boston Celtics. Had a pretty good lead the whole time, won 98-84. Just scrimmage, guys see the young guys play a lot. And then now we'll get into about the second scrimmage against the Philadelphia 76ers. The Thunder won that one 102-97, a 24-point comeback there in the second half. Thunder did not play well at all in the first half, and then they played pretty awesome in the second half. Starters, except for Lou Dort, didn't play very well. Shea had a lot of points, but he took a lot of shots. Yeah, Shea had 16 points, 5 assists and 7 rebounds. So his passing vision looked a little bit better in this game. Hopefully he's been working on that in the off season. But he took 15 shots to get 16 points, 1 for 6 from 3. Hit all of his free throws, which the Thunder did not do very well. Yeah, Thunder in that first half were pretty bad, but at the end of the game, ended 11 for 38 from 3. Started out like 3 for 15 from 3, and then ended the game 21 for 32 at the free throw line. Started out like 3 for 7, I think, and kind of 50% that whole first half. And Steven Adams played pretty good defense on the inside, but really Horford killed him on those threes. Horford's been kind of that Adams killer in the past, just sitting out there pulling Adams away from the basket, knocked down threes, and he was open pretty much every time he caught the ball. Started out 4 for 4 from 3. And Matisse Thybulle was just a monster. This dude was a pest that whole first half. He was all over the place, shut down Schroeder, just getting steals, transition points, just dunking the ball and getting layups and using his length to his advantage. He's kind of plays like Dre on defense. And he's really just a really athletic guy. So when he goes for that steal, he can really run that transition. And dude was just a monster, and that's why Dennis did not play well at all that first half. Having Nerlens back in this scrimmage was awesome. He brought Spark off the bench, gave a little bit of life for the team in that first half to not make it too bad of a lead. Billy kind of threw some weird lineups out there a couple times in that first half. A couple times he didn't have any scorers out there. Had Diallo and Ferguson out there together. Seemed like he was just trying to give the starters a lot of minutes. But when every starter was out there together, they were just terrible. Gallo and CP3, guys who will probably be fine once the season starts, were just bad. The missed shots. Chris Paul had 4 turnovers. Gallo couldn't make a shot. Just credit to the Sixers defense. Ben Simmons and Matisse Thybulle were pests the whole first half, and Thybulle for a little bit of that third quarter. And then, like I said, Thunder shot 65% from free throw and 28% from 3. It was really not good. That first half brought down those percentages just a lot. And the Sixers, just opposite of what they usually do, were hitting their threes. They shot 35% from 3, 15 of 42. They were awesome in that first half, shooting their 3-pointers. Alec Burks and Glenn Robinson III and just all those guys, Furkan Korkmaz, were all just hitting their threes, and Thunder couldn't stop it. The Thunder was still kind of lagging off them on 3 because they're guys that don't really usually, because some of those guys that were shooting threes don't really make them, and Sixers not really a team known for hitting threes. Ben Simmons had a triple-double, or almost had a triple-double, 14 points, 9 assists, and 11 rebounds. Alec Burks, almost a Thunder player, 13 points, 6 rebounds, and Norvell Pell kind of had a weird stat sheet, 6 points, 6 rebounds, and then had those 4 blocks. That guy was a pest on defense as well. So, credit to the Sixers defense in that first half. against the starters. They really brought it to him, and the starters really just didn't have any offense at all. So the third scrimmage that we're gonna have, just look for the starters to get it going on offense a little bit more. And then that second half where the Thunder kind of picked it up, Baisley looked amazing. Again, he was hesitant in the first half, not sure why, because he's out there against a little bit better players, or just deferring to the older guys, the guys who can score. Not sure why, but again, he was way better in the second half. Hit some threes, was a main ball handler, with no real point guard out there, and even sometimes when Schroeder was out there, got some rebounds, went coast to coast a couple times, got his Ben Simmons on, ironically, against the Sixers, and then freed up Dennis to finally get a couple buckets, and all of a sudden the Sixers lead was cut to 11. And then Dort ran the point for a little bit, also with no Schroeder out there, along with Devin Hall, and then had a bad pass, made up for it on defense, hit a cool fancy layup, kind of reverse layup, almost a no look. And then Andre Roberson again was amazing this game. Dre and Dort out there together on defense is kind of amazing. Like, that's hard to score against both those guys out there. And finally, Dort can guard the smaller guys, and Dre can guard the bigger guys, and even Dre can guard the small guys too. They can kind of switch, and just having both those guys out there on defense is really hard to score against. Dre seemed like his old self on defense. Good lateral movement. Guarded a couple guys. Guarded Alec Burks a couple times. Almost full court, 3/4 court. Got to play against some better players than he did in that last game. He was a plus 29. 13-0 run once Dre came in. Score was 81-57 when he checked in, and then 45-16. They outscored Sixers 45-16 after he came in. Outscored them 32-16 in the fourth quarter. So, and then Dre hits. So we got Devin Hall driving to the basket, hits a euro, kicks it out to Dre. Dre hits a corner three to put the Thunder in the lead. But a little bit of time left, and then finally the Sixers don't score because Dre plays good defense. And then Thunder come down, hit Dre out on the wing. He hits the dagger for the three, and then once again, another good defensive play at the end by Dre, and the Sixers had no chance. So Andre Roberson out there hitting threes. So good to see him out there. So happy for him. I know he's happy to be back. It's been so long, and he saved the Thunder in a scrimmage against the 76ers. Anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. We'll see you next time.